That's the thing. Like ever since I was a little girl, like I pick things up and I use things, and then like they break or they just fall apart or something weird happens, and then I'm left wondering. Well, I wonder how it was supposed to work. Because that's what I got. All right. Okay. We'll put. Maybe the. I don't. I charged it. And I didn't use it since I charged it. I don't know. You just don't get what you pay for in America no more. It's probably made in China anyway. China? You know, here the whole time I thought people were made in China. I thought people were creating things in America. America hasn't been producing in decades. Yeah, now everybody got all complacent, so we're dealing the effects of it. But I gotta pay respects for Millie. Millie died.
Millie died?
That's her nickname.
Oh, that's her nickname. I thought that was her first
name. We went to basic training together.
Oh.
She was only 45. She would have been 46, and she's a Gemini. Oh. So June, she would have been 46. I'm tripped out, man. Like, she was younger than me. This was us in basic training. This was a tech school, Wichita Falls, Texas.
Wichita? That's how far away is that?
I swear I'm not white. Well, I'm less white. There. It's me and Millie. Now she's another angel.
An angel.
I sent her few pictures. That picture and this picture.
She's happy.
She's in heaven, I guess. She's happy, Ma. I don't know, Ma. And then I got this one, her and Mason.
Mason?
She used to write on her social medias. She had hashtag shit my airman would say.
Oh.
Let's see if I can find any. I just had the page populated and then, of course nothing works the way you want it. So let's see. Hashtag. Mom is in her repeating phase. She just likes to repeat things that I say. Okay, Airman. Sergeant Millie, I need a meal voucher for this weekend. Me, why? Airman, the flight line's kitchen is closed. Me, the main chow hall doesn't have midnight meal. What? Me, the main chow hall doesn't have midnight meals? Airman, yes ma'am, they do. I don't like the leftovers and I don't want to eat cereal. I want a hot meal. Me, Blinks. So let me get this straight. Okay. You are provided a meal you just don't like the selection that is provided, and you would like money to buy food. Airman, yes ma'am, that's what I would like. Me, well, people in hell would like ice water. We don't always get what we want in the military or life. We get what we get. The answer is no. Bless your heart. That's what she would always. Yeah. Oh, Millie. Squadron commander comes to brief shop about unprofessional relationships this morning. CC Chief. CC. Chief, do you have anything to add? Chief gives brief. Anybody have questions? Staff Sergeant Dummy. You keep eyeing me like you want to ask a question or wink at me. Staff Sergeant Dummy. No, Chief. I'll save the wink for later. NCO turns to me. That's your troop. Me. Yeah, fuck my life. Me to Airman. Replace the panel light bulb on this unit, please. Come back 10 minutes later. Me. Did it work? Airman. I replaced it, but I don't know how to ops check it. Me. Blank stare. How do you turn on the lights in your room? Airman. Looks at me like I'm dumb. I flipped the light switch on. Me. Oh, look. Do you see the panel light switch on the unit? Airman, yes. Me, okay, flip that on. Bless it, your whole heart. See, this, I mean, see, because I only did 6, because I couldn't stand the pageantry of, it's just nonsense. It's like America's a lie. And, once I got the verification with my own eyes, my whole heart was not willing to do, I wasn't willing to give 20 years of my life to perpetuate a lie. And, Millie did, a lot of people do, and she's one of them, and she, 45 years old, A lot of military members they don't, we're taught to be healthy and live healthy and make good choices and stuff like that. They just say it. They just have to, they just have these boxes they gotta mark off. Okay, we gotta say be healthy. Gotta say don't drink and drive. Gotta say all these things. Gotta say pay your bills. Gotta say all these things, right? All these things that they gotta say doesn't mean that people in the military do those things that they say that need to be done. And see, it's because I grew up so poor. Mom taught us a long time ago how to live within our means, below our means, and so many people don't. They get that steady paycheck. They start getting all these days off. They start thinking, more and more and more of all the things that they deserve. They got it easy. What happened is it got to a point that they couldn't perpetuate the lie anymore. The lie, America, the greatest fighting power. I mean, they haven't been able, since I got out, you can't. Now readiness is crap. They can't get people to pilot the planes. Planes, the maintenance hasn't, everything's just nonsense. There's 3 things that people need to live on planet Earth. Food, water, shelter. And people feel they feel bad about themselves, I guess, because they can't do much to contribute to the food, water, shelter bit. So, I don't know, my world is changing so fast because it's just getting smaller and smaller. When I started out, I just wanted to be so far out and a part of planet Earth and see this and go here, I was starving for experience. And then Earth gave me all this experience. I say, you know what I'm going to take from learning all this experience and this discernment and stuff? I'm just going to stay home. Yeah. And so all the astrologers are asking, what is different from a year ago than now? And a year ago, I was just all set, do what I can to save the earth. And now, I guess people can watch my videos and see how I save myself and learn how to frickin', live through hell for frickin' so long, because it don't let up for me, man. My life is so weird. It's my Marge in the 12th house, man. My hidden enemies, they're not hidden frickin' grown man like the frickin' they like to freaking act like they're big and tough because they're compensating for not being able to see their manhood without a mirror for decades, and that takes that they emasculate themselves. I just speak on it, and they're like, damn, how does that bitch know? Well, that bitch, she's got freaking Mercury, freaking Jupiter, Venus, all in Pisces. Yeah, I know stuff I don't want to know all the time. I'm always like, I don't want to know. It's none of my business. Oh, Marge, you're a truth speaker. So, because you're a truth speaker, you got to be a truth seeker. Because like attracts like. So, of course, I'm going to get freaking truth on my freaking radar all the time. I'm telling the truth all the time. So, I didn't venture out today. Just needed to go fill up some water. Nothing serious. Did a quick drive-through to see how Taos has changed. Not much, man. They are really, really slow. It's the slowest sidewalk makers on planet Earth are all it's like the slowest timeline, man. This place is such a weird place. It'd be cool. Now it's like doubling, tripling. It's like so many people are coming here. So I have less desire to go into town except to go to the store. That's the only thing left I got to do is go to the store and go to the gas station. That's it, Ma. I'm down to that. Other people are so mad because they got to go to work and they got to put up with all this bullshit to get money, to get stuff that they told themselves that they need in order to be comfortable in life. And I'm so glad I listened when my mom told me so many years ago that all that stuff is just stuff and you can't take that stuff with you, and it's not gonna, like one day you're gonna get tired and you're not gonna have all the energy to maintain what it takes care of to, use all that stuff, and so kind of help me downsize in life. Try not to cure so much. We have practical things, right? I do want to get some of those like the Jackery, not necessarily that brand, but the Jackery portable battery sets. Just so we can have stuff like, because we have the loud generator. Now we're shifting to battery packs that are different. So, because the Earth is changing, man. We don't live on the same planet Earth that we lived on even 5 years ago. It's constantly changing because people don't know how to center themselves. And the Earth is changing because people are like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And there's just like, breathe, take a moment, center yourself, focus. If more people did that, things wouldn't feel as scattered as they do, man. Weather's all crazy. People are Ben's talking, where it's imminent, the pole shift, whatever. Here we go. And the way I look at it, like what experience you have on this planet is based on your frequency and how you have navigated and guided yourself through life. The choices you've made have gotten to you to where you are today. And I'm grateful. So grateful. See, grateful is the only word. I hear a lot of people say, pride. I'm so proud. I'm proud. I got like 2,500 videos and you ain't going to hear me say I'm proud of nothing on these videos. You want to know why? Because pride to me is so silly. Pride to me is when someone says, oh, look what you can do. You did this thing. It is so great. And so many people, that would be nice if it stopped there. It don't stop there. It goes farther, like their kid is better than your kid. And then it gets all ugly and tainted because, again, people do not know how to center themselves. So they are imbalanced, and they have these imbalances that they've created by just doing whatever they want. This week was so weird, man. There was all across. It's every day in New Mexico. New Mexico's a very self-will run riot. I don't know what people are taught here because I wasn't raised here. I didn't get all the advantage that everybody else gets when you're born and raised. See, Mom was born here, but she wasn't allowed to be raised because she got thrown away because things aren't perfect and tied up in a perfect little bow, they'll throw you away. But that's okay, because in New Mexico, the places that they'll throw you, there aren't very good places, but they account for so much of the budgets. New Mexico has a $58 billion surplus. That's how much that they have accrued. There's only 2 million people in the whole state, right? That's why so many people do drugs and alcohol, because it's just like, why do the right thing? Because you're not going to get that job. The job's already gone to somebody's nephew. You're not going to get that car, Like, they're going to pay billions of dollars to spend on buses. It would cost less than that to buy just people a used car. But they don't think like that because they don't want it to trickle down because they're the withholders. They are the problem makers. People are figuring it out, as you see all across the land. There's people really upset, I even saw the freaking bear I came across this group. I'm not a part of this group. There's workarounds. You can kind of see what's inside the group without being a part of the group. And so I had gone into this Asked House group, and this little Pasquale. Oh, Pasquale. What are you yammering about over there? You did 4 years, you were a seaman. You know how the whole thing, and aside from being born and raised in Taos, you took 4 years aside to do, have your own experience. What was your experience? Were you an admin? Anyway. So much the world is changing. Mom, I think Mom and I are probably more content than we've ever been, huh?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why? Because we've gone through hell in our lives, and all along the way, we tried to make things easier for other people. Because it sucks. Sometimes people need a break. And there's so many people out there that could give people a break. They just don't want to. I'm glad. That culture of the military, it's dangerous. It's very unhealthy. There's a lot of alcohol. There's a lot of, we're the greatest power. We're going to do what I want, do it. That's what I lift my little dumbbell, even when it hurts and I don't feel like it. Because your heart, it's a dang muscle. And people don't exercise their heart. They don't they don't do anything to get their heart to go above the baseline. And your heart has to go above the baseline. So when something happens, you don't blow a gasket. You don't have a stroke. You don't have an aneurysm. You're in fit prime condition. Who fucking does that? Heck, man, the military, they threatened to kick me out of the military if I wasn't in my prime physical, so I did it. I did everything the fucking jerks told me I need to do, because they said it, and guess what? They couldn't do it. They couldn't do what they asked of me. That's why I was like, dude, this whole military thing's a fucking joke. I will never celebrate the military as long as I live, because it's pageantry. Dude, when we were, I guess they're doing this thing, I saw it TikTok, dun dun dun, off at Air Force Base, they're gonna close, they're locking down the whole base, you can't, so if you're retired, do what you need to do, because no insy outsies, we're playing war here, folks, this is it, right? Until April 4th, and I'm just laughing because it's just ooh, I wonder how many people are just dun dun dun, a spike in their adrenaline. Because every time you get a spike in your adrenaline, it breaks you down for when something significant happens. Because that shit don't impact your life. When I was on Offutt Air Force Base, we exercised every single month for 18 months. They called it their joint staff bullshit, blah blah. See, they make us little bitches do all the work, and then they give themselves all the fucking awards and the little medals because of what they made their people do. It is so fucking stupid. It's literally chess. They're literally, we're gonna move these personnel over here. Because these fucking eggheads played Risk and Stratego when they were younger, and then they're like, we don't need friends, we're just gonna grow up and control the world. And that's what they fucking did, because they went to the right schools, and then their buddy got them in, and then they got all the right duty stations. See, it shouldn't be duty, D-U-T-Y. It should be duty, D-O-O-T-I-E, because it's all horse shit. And America just loves to eat it up. And don't you talk bad about the military. And it's like, dude, the military will turn on you just because they are the, I'm just doing my job squad. Don't have enough sense to do anything enough and by ourselves. So I'm just going to do what I'm told. And then so that way, if I do something that people don't like, I can just say, and then when they do a couple years, 4 years, and then they get out, go home, and then tell like their local government, hey, I was in the military. Let me come work for you. Okay. You got just the right kind of slack as the rest of us. So welcome aboard. You did nothing there, so come over here and do nothing here. 2020. Like, I remember growing up thinking, oh, you know, you retire after 20 years in a place, but then, like, why are all these people so old and miserable and still working? Oh, because that's how it is for the military. It ain't like that for everybody else, but everybody else has to work to sustain the military getting their pensions. I don't give a shit about people getting, you know, the federal agents, like all the, the veterans are not getting, the veteran ain't vaping getting help. For years, veterans ain't. So, dude, and that's with all those people employed. So I frankly don't give a shit if they lose their job. And for all the stories that I hear about the people that do try to use the resources, because I don't bother, I just circumvent. I don't freaking use their fucking mental health services. I stay fit. I eat healthy. I quit smoking flower over a month ago now. I try to do things every year, you know, try to take things away that don't serve me anymore. And that was this time around. And so I try to, you know, I try to put myself in a better position than I was last year. And then all the while I'm looking for other people that are doing the same thing, and I can't find them because I live on planet Earth, and planet Earth is about living that best life. And people would rather spend freaking hundreds and, you know, thousands of dollars with the trailer and the trucks and the bullshit. Like, I fucking went to town. What is it like? How much limp dick energy, Taoians? You know, tell your fucking kids to stop the coal roll or whatever, you know? Like, we're back here again. It's been going on forever, but a new group fucking figured it out, so. Lip dick energy all over Taos. I saw 2. I'm like, really? You're taking off from a fucking stoplight at Taos, New Mexico, and you're gonna roll coal? Because what? Your parents are fucking idiots, and they always did whatever they wanted to do, so you just learned to just do what you feel like doing? Because it's American, that's what America's about. Land of the lack of discipline. Home of the Greys? It's not me, it's them. It's all the people that would rather sit on their couch and do what serves them day in and day out. Just enough to get off their couch to go serve somebody else for a little while, to get a paycheck so they can get money to buy a bunch of bullshit. Ultimately, then look how many people, now we're in that season. You got so many people that bought so much shit the last year. Now we're coming into spring. Ooh, maybe we can get some return on all the shit we bought. So you get all over Marketplace. Here's our junk. Here's our trash. Not even wiped off. It's gross. It's disgusting. But we're going to ask you twice, maybe 3 times as much as we should ask if we had any manners. Because that's, you know, that's what you do. Because that's just how we've always done it in Taos. And even these people that have lived here forever, they are fucking freaking out. And I had a realization to why while even locals are pissed in Taos. And what I came up with is that because they've been born and raised here, generations have lived here. It's always been this sleepy, quiet little town. It was always just this, like, just right porridge, just right porridge. And then all of a sudden, COVID, boom, 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 like growth. Buildings. They tried to, you know, they're finally finishing the Starbucks, which I don't drink that shit. People say there's 7 billion people on this planet. I disagree. There is only a many people on the planet that you have ever exchanged. And, you know, like, I don't even recognize the people on the streets that I pass. As far as I'm concerned, they're just little NPCs. They're those little dolls with, like, just the top half, you know, and they pull into their driveways, and then they're just, you know, they're parked there until the freaking sun comes up, and then the garage door opens up, and then they pull out, and then they go back to produce. And that's what the earth is to me. I don't live on the same earth that everybody else was. While everybody is, you know, had Easter, you know, I'm like, you know, Mom and I are trying to survive, and, you know, this holiday, and oh yeah, you know, gotta move, and this holiday, and oh god, lost the dog, and this, you know, all these other people, they're living this bullshit program, and Mom and I are not having any kind, and all the while people are ignoring us, you know, like, until some earth angel just came from nowhere to come in and just make life a little bit easier. Just one person, that's all it takes. Like attracts like, and when you're like me, the rest of the world ain't like you a whole lot. So yeah, your numbers, you're gonna be down. They're gonna be low, because you know what? People don't like doing the work, and I prefer to do the work and then play, or maybe do the work and play while. Not in America, people have just circumvented the work, and now, you know, like, dude, somebody's gonna have to fucking deal with the plumbing. You know, somebody's gonna have to repair the cars. Especially with all the new shit that they're making now. Like, it's all garbage. It's all trash, man. There's no work ethic. Like, America is down the toilet. I wonder what's gonna come up after. I wonder what's gonna rebuild, you know, when people really figure out, oh shit, I don't need all these houses. I only really need one, because things are gonna get real weird here for a while because of what people do with their free will. So many people are gonna choose the fearful, easier, softer way. So shit's gonna get real, and just based on their frequency, because every day on social media, I see somewhere where somebody says, this thing happened, and it was my biggest fear. And I'm just like, why do people sit and think about the thing that they're afraid of they're the most? Because they're going to make that happen. And they're figuring it out, how energy works. I've only been talking about it online for going on 8 years. March, today, Ma.
Yeah.
Today's the anniversary of the channel, 8 years. 8 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, woo!
Yeah.
8 years of speaking truth.
Speaking
And I'm more accurate than every freaking astrologer I listen to. That's what's funny. Is like, you go back and listen to the stuff I talk about. It's like I have specifics in there happening. So, perception is reality. I'm just focusing on what's going to be, you know, matter to me. And I think I figured out which influencer I'm going to send my first t-shirt to do. Straight people like rainbows too. You getting hungry, Ma? Want a chicken sandwich? I made chicken cutlets in the air fryer last night. It's starting to get warm in here in the evening, you know. Oh, so I'm just trying to stay chill and being the perspective. I was listening to this. I've been listening to talks like when I can't sleep, and I'm just trying to not focus on any of my thoughts, so to speak, right? I've been listening to these talks on stoicism.
That's what
Stoics, the Stoics,
The Stoics.
and their ideology. Where's Luna? Did she go back in there? Where'd she go?
She was up here.
She said, I'm not animal.
Not anymore.
Oh, she's right there.
She okay?
Yeah, she's fine. I just couldn't. I thought.
She's
Well,
happy.
she's like a little black dog, so
Yeah.
if she's in a dark room, you gotta
Yeah.
come up on her.
She's happy.
Yep, she's happy girl. So yeah, they've been spraying like crazy here. I wonder what the earth would be if it was organic and they didn't, if it wasn't hijacked and manipulated and shit like that. So, wonder what that would be like. And if people like chose the right course of action and decided more so like, you know, instead of so much of the I'm just doing my job squad, that we had more people like, no, I'm not going to do that because it just doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel right. See, my whole life I haven't done things because it didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. It hurt my stomach.
Your stomach?
When I didn't live in integrity, I had physical ramifications. Yet I have never had an ulcer. Why? Because I learned how to breathe and process energy from a young age. My dad's birthday was yesterday.
Oh,
He refers to himself as dear old dad.
dear old dad.
He has 3 kids. I wonder if my brother called him, because I didn't send him a text. My sister Jessica didn't. Rest in peace, Jessica.
Oh.
See, that is like the perpetual state of what it's like for the fucking Nepo baby, because my dad was one and his brother was one. My brother is one. They're Freemasons, see? But that shit, it never did me no advantage. It never did mom no advantage. So it planted these seeds in my mind that I don't like clubs. And my whole life, I gave clubs, organizations, I gave all these institutions, still to this day, I give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll show up and be like, hey, I'm a person of integrity. Let's see what they're about. And then usually I'm there not very long before I realize, oh, this is just more bullshit. So all these people can play their roles and then pay themselves exorbitant wages so they can decide on how things are, all while people that have fallen through the cracks, their teeth are rotting out of their head. Like, America's in trouble, man. As a collective, I'm seeing TikToks where like young people in their 20s, like, had they pulled out their teeth, like, fuck it, people are fucked up. You know, here's the deal. Let me explain something that a lot of people don't get about teeth. If you just go to your little device that everybody has and you just put in teeth attached to organs, okay? The traditional Chinese medicine, through energy pathways called the meridians of your mouth. And then they have all these pictures, these graphs. And then if you got a toothache, all you got to do is look up, you know, what tooth is attached to that organ. And then you can find some teas, some things that you can do in order to reverse some of those effects. That's the way I live my life, and I'm still here. I don't know how that is a thing, but I can't believe how high turnover is gonna be in the next couple years. You know, it just makes me sad. I want people to want to live. I know what it's like to not always want to. I've been there too. I've been in that place. I mean, I used to get so excited about birthdays, you know, for a lot of years. They were the only holiday I would celebrate, and I've come to a place that it's just, I'm going to just be grateful that we wake up every day, you know? And I do celebrate the new year and recognize spring as the new year, and I also, when I was in the military, I went on a lot of briefings. I wanted to learn as much as I could. And they had like suicide awareness and stuff like that, and they would talk about how spring would be like the highest suicide rates are in spring because people just can't, like it's another beginning, but they just can't not do that thing that year one more time. They can't do that cycle, that loop. And I want to help people get off those loops and do things different. That's closer to, that's more true to their heart. Yeah. But anyway, I think Tux needs to go out. You need to go potty outside, Tuck? Huh? Yeah? So we are getting back to that place where people are recognizing that, all people really need is water, shelter, and food. And because a lot of people know what it's like to go without. So I think it's okay to spread that shit around. There's a lot of people that have so much. Like, it's disgusting. It's just gluttony. And there's so many more that have nothing. And, well, that's tilting. Anyway.